Buck Naked Kitchen. This is the cookbook that I'm reviewing today, so grab a mug of your favorite beverage and join me for today's nutrition coffee chat. And while you're at it, click the subscription button below and the little notification bell so that you get everything you need to create healthy eating habits that stick. Well, I hope that you had a good couple of months. I know I haven't done much filming in the last few months, but I did continue to cook up a storm and put cookbooks through the test. So I'm so excited to be sharing with you today's cookbook review, Buck Naked Kitchen, as well as the lineup of cookbooks that I have planned for all of this fall straight through until 2021. I want to thank all of the community members who shared with me the titles that you were curious about. You introduced me to many new cooks, new authors, and yeah, so everything from now through December are cookbooks that were recommended by you, that you were curious about. So I'm so excited to share with you what we've got lined up. Okay, Buck Naked Kitchen, let's get into it. Well, first you want to know a little bit about the book and the author because that's what you let me know you want to find out about. So Kirsten Buck is a fellow Canadian and she was new to me. I didn't know her before as a cook or as an author, but I know that many of you are familiar with her because she has a huge social media following. And this is her first cookbook from what I know, and you can really tell that she comes from a blogging and social media background because, the pictures are sumptuous. I mean, these pictures are going to get you excited about healthy eating. Oh my goodness, love these photos. And you want me to comment, does every single recipe have a photo? Perhaps not every single one, but north of 90% have photos, as well as some other just kind of beautiful food shots, kind of food beauty shots. Make me so excited. It makes me so excited about healthy eating, and I know it'll make you excited about healthy eating as well. Now, this cookbook does speak a lot about Whole30, and I'm not going to be talking about Whole30 in this video. Today, this is a cookbook review, a review of cookbook. Talking about Whole30 would be a whole other topic. And so this review is really whether somebody is following Whole30 or whether you don't follow Whole30, this is a review of this cookbook with both of those situations in mind. Okay, table of contents. People let me know that you would like to know about the table of contents. And this is designed a little bit differently. She does organize her book a little bit unusually. Not that it's good or bad. I don't strongly have a preference either way. But there's basics, breakfast, on the go, summer, and winter. And I mean, where she lives, there's just really the two seasons. Here on the West Coast, a little bit different seasons, but hey, where she's from, more prairie peoples, there's a distinct summer and a distinct winter from what I understand. Okay, so there's a little bit of pantry staples in here, and I want to let you know that I am a bit more practical, looking for a little bit easier to go, and I know that that's what you usually are asking for me as well, of how practical are these books. And so I did use sometimes just plain melted butter. If she was asking for ghee, I did not clarify my own ghee or purchase ghee. Sometimes she's using coconut aminos. Again, that falls under the Whole30. I just use soy sauce, things like that. I sometimes use olive oil instead of some of the other fats. So I did a little bit of just kind of practical swapping out happening. So I wanted to mention that. And I didn't do any of the recipes of like how to make your own ghee, things like that. Oof, no, I'm melting butter. That's as far as I'm going. So diving into the recipes that we tried. Beet pancakes. Don't they look beautiful? I made these for the kiddos. There's now kiddos in my family who I'm cooking for often, and these were a big hit. Now, I didn't make this beautiful stack like this. I didn't whip up the coconut to make coconut whipped cream. No, we just did classic butter, syrup, but maple syrup, real maple syrup. But the beet pancakes, I could taste a little tiny bit of beet. The kids couldn't, and they were a big hit, but they got a huge kick out of the color. And I think this would be a super fun idea, for example, on Valentine's Day. Okay, moving along. Smashed potatoes with roasted red pepper sauce. Beautiful. I would say this recipe, it tasted good, but there were a lot of steps. I don't know that the amount of work that went in was really worth it for how these tasted. I would just do a quicker preparation method, but I quite like the roasted red pepper sauce, and I think I'll make that again with just a regular roasted potato. The best sweet potato home fries. Yum, who doesn't love a roasted sweet potato? Big hit with the family, good one. Ooh, Mexican baked eggs. This is right up my flavor profile. I included in my cookbook a shakshuka, which is a similar type of technique where you cook the veggies and the spices and all the flavor in the pan, and then you nestle the eggs in there and cook it in the oven. Oh, or on the stovetop, either way, but delicious. I love eggs for lunch or dinner, and this was a good one. Mexican flavors with the shakshuka kind of style. Big hit. Yeah, loved it. Moving along. Nut-free energy bites. I love the energy bite concept. They're great for kids, great for those of us adults on the run when you want to have something that's a little bit healthier than most commercial granola bars. And this is quite a nice one. It does include seeds, but it does not include nuts. So great for many kiddos if they are returning back to classrooms. I actually had the 6-year-old in my household help me make this recipe, and what a great recipe for busy little hands. And they loved it. I did omit the cocoa nibs. I felt that would probably be too strong and intense a bitter flavor for the kids in my life. I love them, but I had a feeling that they wouldn't like it, but super easy to just omit those. Delicious recipe. Definitely making it again when the kiddos are here. Moving along, dill pickle curried tuna salad. This is brilliant. Love this dish. It was a hit with the kids. And it just, I love a tuna salad, especially in the summer. This really is up my alley, summertime eating. But sometimes I get a little bored of the same way I always prepare my canned tuna. This jazzed it up just enough that, loved it. Really great. And I was kind of curious, like curry flavors, plus dill pickles, plus raisins. I wasn't sure. I loved all those flavors, but really all together, yep, delicious. Moving on, she has a whole section on smoothies, and I made the chocolate and black cherry smoothie, which was delicious. I mean, cherries and chocolate are a match made in heaven. They're a classic combination. With her smoothies, I would say that they do have more sugar, like natural sugar, than I would recommend for those of us 40 plus whose bodies aren't, metabolizing sugars quite as well anymore. So I would remake this, and actually I did remake this with half the amount of cherries and kept the date in there. And I used actually a smaller date than the Medjool date that she had in here so that I could reduce the amount of sugar overall. It was still absolutely delicious. This is one when I did use the cacao nibs because I love a dark chocolate flavor. Oh, yum. Definitely, I've made it a few times since. Thank you, Kirsten, for this recipe. Ooh, spicy tuna rainbow roll. Again, I made this one with the kiddos around, and it was a big hit. The kids love to roll up their own sushi. I did make it non-spicy. I just, super easy. You just don't add the hot sauce. But this uses the riced cauliflower. Again, I buy my riced cauliflower from the freezer section, already riced, super easy. And yeah, this was a really fun meal and delicious. Yeah, big hit. I'll be making that again. I hadn't thought of using riced cauliflower in homemade sushi. And yeah, I mean, obviously not traditional because the whole purpose of sushi is the sushi rice, but still a yummy dish. Okay, chimichurri shrimp. Yum, 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 yum. I had enjoyed chimichurri sauce in restaurants before, had never made it myself. So glad that I now know how to make it. Was a huge hit with the shrimp, and then I used the leftover sauce for many other things. That sauce, it's going to be in my regular repertoire. So happy that I learned how to do that. Whitefish cakes. Now, these, I admit, involve a little bit more work. I have a salmon cake recipe in my cookbook that's just like super easy, quick meal when you just don't even feel like cooking. This one took a little bit more work, and I found that mine fell apart a little bit. It only called for 1 egg, and I would recommend 2 eggs. Yeah, I will make them again. The flavor was delicious, but yeah, I'm gonna do 2 eggs in mine again, or I'll probably put 1 in and see if it's going to hold together or not, and then probably add the second if it didn't. I wanted to stay true to the recipe here to test it for you, but yeah, it was kind of a delicious fish crumble instead of a cake. So yeah, I'll make it again, but with that together, with kind of checking on whether I need a second egg there. She has a number of salad dressings in the book, and so if you've always gone for a bottled salad dressing and you want to start making your own and you're not really sure how to do that, this is a great cookbook for you. And so I tried the sweet ginger Dijon dressing. Now this one, I mean, it is aptly named Sweet Ginger Dijon Dressing. I found it a little too sweet. So I'll make it again, but I'll significantly decrease its maple syrup in here, 2 tablespoons, which does create quite a sweet flavor. So I'll probably do more like 1 teaspoon, and that will be a good for my taste buds. Again, not saying that it's a bad recipe, just for my taste buds, it was a little too sweet, but I mean, it was named Sweet Ginger Dijon Dressing, so you know, I was fair warned. Super seed chicken tenders with honey dill dip. This recipe didn't work. Nobody liked it in the household. The kiddos just undid all of the breading and ate the chicken from the inside. So, I mean, they still ate, which was good, but kind of a waste. And also, I found there was a ton of extra dredging, and the binding, the main ingredient is almond flour. I don't know about what's going on in your grocery stores, but almond flour has always been a pricier ingredient here, and I found particularly since COVID, the price is just really quite high. Now, we're 5 when the kiddos are with us in the household. This recipe serves 2, so I doubled the recipe to serve 4, and which would be 2 cups of almond flour. And I would say that I threw away probably 1.5 cups. And the chicken was fully breaded, so but the almond flour had touched raw chicken, so I had to put it in the green bin. But that was a lot of money to be just putting away through there. And then when people didn't really like it, so you know, whether that's just a flavor profile that my family didn't like, okay, maybe, but to throw away almost 1.5 cups of almond flour, that seemed like a big waste. So I would say skip this recipe. Next, moving on, Mom's hamburger soup. I don't know about you, but hamburger soup definitely is more of a comfort food that I'm familiar with, and this was a good one. So if you're not familiar with it, definitely get this cookbook for something like this. Yummy, wintertime, kind of comfort food. I mean, yes, I made it in the summer, but hey, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna check out her recipe for hamburger soup. And then last but not least, Thanksgiving turkey burgers. I did not do it with the cranberry sauce. I just did it with the turkey burgers. And yeah, these were a huge hit with the family. Really huge hit. I don't know about you if you've used ground turkey before, but it does tend to be super, super lean. And so it's kind of crumbly and it can be tasteless. And so all the additions that she includes here were really quite brilliant. The house smelled great and the kids were super excited to try them, and yeah, loved them. Even our kind of pickier eater who usually doesn't like to see things within their burgers, this had like diced celery and leek and in there, and the grated sweet potato, but still he ate it, he loved it. So big win on this recipe, and a good way to include ground turkey, which, as I said, can be kind of a problematic, not problematic ingredient, but can be a bit of a lackluster ingredient. Okay, those are the recipes that I tried with Buck Naked Kitchen. And so do I recommend it? Yes. Solid yes recommendation for this cookbook. Some great fast recipes, some great recipes that were in the middle. Just don't try the chicken tender recipe. That's what I'm going to recommend for you today. If you are interested in purchasing it and you get your books through Amazon, I encourage you to use the link in the description box below. That's a good way to help support me in the videos that I create at no extra expense to you. Or of course, support your local bookstore and order it or purchase it through them. Have a great couple of weeks, eat well, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time.